Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland. That would be me. Welcome to the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. It is a Tuesday morning, June 17th, 2025. We are bringing the show back to you on this summer break of mine. I am a school counselor by day, and by night I put on my cape and become a podcaster. And this is the beginning of my summer of the next 6 weeks. So we will be doing this Coffee Jolt in the mornings, and it's a little bit late in the morning. I know you're watching this a little bit closer to noon if you're Eastern time, but plan is to get this show up. I've actually been up and around this morning. I've already done my morning walk and got a few miles in, burning a few calories, trying to do all those great things in the summertime. So we love the fact that you follow us here on the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First. And thanks for subscribing to our shows here on the X, on Facebook, maybe YouTube. Follow us, download us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can catch our shows. I do have my coffee. It is a Starbucks. It's not Hemisphere Coffee Roasters who do promote our shows and support our shows. So thank you to those Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They shake the hand of the farmer. You can find the link to that on our X page. All right. So yeah, I'm drinking something from Starbucks that's cold now. I think it's a caramel macchiato. I know it's cold, but I'll sip on it while we do the show today. Still pretty good, kind of cold. All right. Browns talk. The quarterback competition. The mini camp was last week. And this week, the Browns and some of the rookies were helping host throughout the week. They're hosting some youngsters at the elementary age and middle school age. And many of us who follow the Brownies on social media probably saw several of these videos posting, many of them with rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who is quickly taking over the popularity contest. Not that we should not have expected this, but the way that he's going about it, and I just love it. I love the fact that this kid I just feel that he's genuine. I don't think that he's playing a game. Yeah, there might be some tactic in some of this stuff because, his dad's Dion and, it's the Sanders, but you watch these videos, and he posted one yesterday of him dancing and with one of these kids at the camp, and he's got a camera, another video where he's roaming with the camera and getting reactions from the kids and his colleagues and athletes that he knows there. It is just genuinely good stuff. It's youngsters. I mean, he is a young guy himself. He's not, he's a young pup. He's 20s, early 20s. He's enjoying what he's doing, and you can see that genuinely. And that's what I love about this kid. And I think that has some meaning to this. No, it does not mean that he's going to be the franchise quarterback, but I still have a lot of hope that is will be the case. I'm really annoyed again by the local media push again. I hear it this morning, various sources up there in Cleveland, the radio programs, continually wanting to say that, well, the Browns are still going to go after another quarterback next year's draft. Come on, folks. The season hasn't even started yet. We're talking about June right now of the 2025 upcoming season. And you folks out there just can't let it die. You have to continually want to say, well, these guys aren't going to work out. We're going to go after another one. And if Stefanski and Barry get canned, of course they're going to go after another quarterback. Just stop all the silly chatter. My God, it's just annoying as hell. You've got two guys and you're not, you're ignoring everything that I just mentioned about what we're seeing as clear as day, that you have a kid in Shedeur Sanders who is gaining popularity by the seconds. The kids fans love to see this, and you can't continually downplay it. And there are so many analysts and anti-Browns who are negative about the Browns, who are always trying to find the worst in things, and you just got to stop. And it should be something that you should have fun with, enjoy it. We've had a lot of quarterbacks come through Cleveland, and not of all of them have the charisma, the genuineness as this kid. So appreciate it. And if Dylan Gabriel, who was drafted again in the third round, and people like to point out, well, he was drafted 50 draft picks ahead of Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, he's a better quarterback. I mean, for God's sakes, man, until the draft day, everybody thought that Shedeur Sanders was going to be drafted in the first round. And so the reasons for him falling to the fifth round of the Browns there are lots of conspiracies and lots of thoughts out there. The fact is he dropped to the fifth round. Do I think that he's a fifth round draft pick? Absolutely, totally not. His talent level is more of a first, second rounder, no less than a third rounder. I completely believe that he's a better quarterback in the end than Dylan Gabriel. Yes, Dylan Gabriel might be able to throw a harder, faster fastball, but Shedeur Sanders has a lot of other things that he can do, and he's pinpoint accurate. Some people will bash this kid because I heard Tony Grossi on 850 yesterday morning, again, bashing Shedeur Sanders and saying, well, let's wait till they get pads on and put their helmets on and let him see how he takes a pass rush. He has its tendency to run into sacks. So we'll see what happens when the real stuff happens. Can we just, those of you who are so damn negative about this guy, it's mind blowing. So I got to ignore it. I hope you're ignoring it and can watch and see some of these things on social media that are positive. Anybody that takes anything away from what you saw yesterday with Shedeur Sanders dancing and enjoying that moment with that kid and all those kids there at that camp, you are just negative Nelly, and just get out. Just stop following the Browns. You really aren't a Browns fan. So just go somewhere else. Go root for the Squealers. Go root for the Bungles. We don't want you to be a Browns fan if you can't appreciate what you see in front of you. That is positive. All right. Let's pause here for a quick commercial break. This is Coffee Jolt. We'll be right back. And we are back here on Coffee Jolt. I want to give a shout out to all of our colleagues here on the Fanatical Elves Network. I usually do that every week with our shows. Our colleague Rod Bloom has his 300th show of the Browns Blitz coming up tomorrow, Wednesday night. I think it's 8:30 is when he's recording that. He's got a few guests coming on for the 300th show. I happen to be part of his 200th show not too long ago when we started this programming here on the Fanatical Elves Network, and we're so happy that Rod Bloom is part of our Fanatical Elves Network. We really appreciate that, along with all of our other guys, from Ethan Greenberg to Steve Gill, Heather and Sherry and Lou Marconi. We really appreciate all of you stepping up, and Sam the man down there in Dallas, Jarrell Flint with his dog food radio programming. So we really appreciate everybody. So check out Rod Bloom's 300th episode coming up Wednesday night. We also have the best damn oh gosh darn it, Ethan, what is that name of your wonderful show, the best doggone podcast in the land? That show is coming up. They've got a special guest tomorrow night. I believe it's 7:30. So check them out here on the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First. All right, the Indians, or the Guardians, are struggling. They are 500. Looked at the record this morning again. They've been floundering. They've lost 4 series in a row, not winning many games at all. They're now going out to play San Francisco, who made a big trade to get one of the big league sluggers from the Boston Red Sox. I don't even pay attention to baseball nearly as much as I used to, but basically, following the Guardians, I got to go up to a game the other day, and that was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that with my family, and but the Indians, they're struggling. Jose Ramirez, there's conversation out there about, well, we might as well just trade Jose Ramirez. This is a long season. It's June. Baseball season doesn't get over until the end of September. We're game 70. There's still 90 some games left to be played. They're 9 games back. They're not out of it. And I know Detroit has a sizable lead right now in the standings, but there's a lot of baseball to be had. The Indians, the Guardians are struggling. So annoying saying Indians, Guardians. I mean, for God's sakes, guys, they're the Indians. We know them as the Indians. I kind of hope that they go back to that. Don't you? I mean, come on. Like, it's anyway. I digress. So the Tribe is struggling right now, but they'll get through it. They're going to hit July and August, and we'll see where things are at. If they tank, if they're completely lost, well, so be it. But they've had a really good run. Some people are talking about the Indians not putting forth a lot of money and all this stuff and being cheap. Just stop. You've seen good baseball. If you follow the team and give them your support. All right, Cavs, the Cavaliers, trade talks. Keep hearing Isaac Okoro. I understand Heather was a big fan of Isaac Okoro. And Dean Wade, my man Dean Wade, talked to his former high school coach, Kurt, out there in Kansas the other day, just because I've been reading some of these rumors about Dean. I guess Dean is in his last year of his contract. I know Dean's really enjoyed playing for the Cavaliers, but it would not surprise me if Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro do get traded at some point in this offseason. That their names keep popping up. There are other names in the big core four. Jarrett Allen's name keeps being tossed around. So does Darius Garland's name. We'll see. The Cavs are saying that they're going to run it back. They weren't that far off. And they're right now, you see the Indiana Pacers, who they lost to several weeks ago, are in the finals against the Oklahoma Thunder. Oklahoma Thunder hold a 3-2 lead in that series. Looked like they could pull out the NBA championship, but regardless, the Cavs will be right up there again. We'll see what the Cavs end up doing. Many of you, those of you who are anti-Dean Wade fans, and I've seen a lot of you comment on social media about Dean Wade's flaws and saying he's not enough, that he doesn't do enough offensively, blah, blah, blah. You can go take a hike as far as I'm concerned. Dean Wade is an excellent, excellent basketball player, and the things that he does provide to the Cavaliers is far more important than what he can't. And those of you who can't see that and like to just rip players because you don't really pay attention to the game as much as others do, go somewhere else again, because you're just throwing around ideas and that's just wrong. Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro, for that matter, as well, both extremely very good defenders for the Cavs. The Cavaliers need defenders because not everyone on that Cavaliers team plays the best defense. So we'll see. Talking about somebody who lacks defensive skill set sometimes, I know the great LeBron James, I hear that he gets tossed around a time or two. I was listening to some other players talking about his veterans in the past of LeBron taking it easy. I can remember a game years ago, the first time that LeBron played for the Cavs when I was still living in Wichita. I hope that everybody out there in Wichita is doing well. I heard you had some storms roll through the area early this morning, so hope all you are well out there. The Oz chapter of the Browns backers is out there, used to help out with that group. But I was out there when the Cavaliers had their really good teams with LeBron. I think it was actually the second time they came back through. And there was a game down in Oklahoma City. By the way, if you get a chance to go to an NBA game in Oklahoma City, it is quite an event. It is almost like a college atmosphere more than a pro basketball atmosphere. And the fans there in Oklahoma City are really devoted to their basketball. In this game with LeBron in Oklahoma, it was years ago. LeBron was literally just standing at half court when you couldn't see it sometimes on the TV cameras, where he would just take plays off. And it was so annoying seeing that from a supposed great, future Hall of Famer. So LeBron's a great player. LeBron will go down as one of the greatest of all time, but he does lack the defensive skill sets that you'd like to see on a more consistent level. When we talk to players, and I've coached many junior high and high school students over the years, you try to get them to understand how defense wins games, and defense is really a big part of playing the game of basketball. So when they see their favorites in the NBA or in college taking plays off, it doesn't help to get that point across as a coach. So anywho, okay. Well, let's see. I think we've got pretty much everything. Well, the only thing I was going to touch on, a couple things before I leave you this morning, the odds makers in going back to the Brownies. I mentioned this in my article. I have an article up for Fans First and Northeast Ohio Sports Insiders as well. My first and goal report. One of the things I talked about was the odds makers, looking at the Browns season coming right now, are coming up, and most are predicting them only to win 5 or 6 games. If you were to go on like Draft, Sports King, or FanDuel, or whatever they call that, their projections of the Browns winning more than 6 games this season was a plus 180. So if you bet any kind of money on the Browns winning 7 games next season, and you put any type of money, you could be a winner, a big winner. So find that interesting. Where the Browns are coming off of a 3-win season. We talk about this. And I talked to Lou Marconi the other day on Stirring the Pod, and then our Fanatical Elves show on Thursday nights. Talked to the guys on this topic too. The year before, the Brownies won 11 games, and everybody's coming into the last offseason saying, oh man, look at that schedule. The Browns easily could win 11, 12, 13 games. Now you look at the schedule and everyone is like commenting how, oh my God, the first 6 games of the Browns season is just going to be brutal. Oh Lord, can you guys all just stop? It's just so annoying because it's a new season. And I know Green Bay's in this part of the season. I know the Baltimore Ratbirds are up there, and we start the season off against the Cincinnati Bengals, and we got to go out to England and play the Minnesota Vikings. I get all that, but every season is anew. The Browns had just won 11 games this season before. They won 3 games last year. So you think when people were looking at their schedule and they were going to see that they had the Browns on their schedule, they're looking, oh my God, the Browns were an 11 win team the previous season. So people would say, oh gosh, that's a brutal game. That's going to be a tough game for whoever the other team is to play the Browns, because the Browns are so good the year before. It's just ridiculous. Just go out and play the damn games and see what happens. If it winds up that they suck and they lose a lot of those games, well, that's not good for Browns fans. It's not good for the Browns coaching staff. It's not good for the players. We all know where that's going to head eventually, considering that, Stefanski and Andrew Berry have been here for 6 years. I get that. But I think it's a pretty good bet if you put money on the fact that they could win 7 games next year. I think that's a pretty good, solid bet in your favor. I wouldn't mind putting a little money on that. So things to consider. But when we start looking at these schedules, and I know some of you don't really like to do that. I know some of my colleagues don't like to put, wins or losses on that, because it's like they say, like I'm saying right now, it's silly, because you really don't have you're basing it on something that happened the previous season. Teams are different, players are different, and that's what happens. Okay. So that's all I got, folks. It is a Tuesday morning when you watch this, or might be Tuesday afternoon. I hope you have a very, very good rest of your Tuesday. What we're going to be doing is bringing this show to you in the mornings. Now, I have my Johnny Cleveland podcast. We will continue to do that in the evenings one of these days this week. But in the mornings, because I'm on that hiatus and my summer break, we'll be bringing you Coffee Jolt a little bit earlier than today on a more regular morning routine. We'll probably have another show, I'm thinking Thursday for this. And then Thursday, by the way, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, we usually have our Fanatical Elves show. I believe we're going to be postponing that show because many of us on with the Fanatical Elves are going to not be available. So we are going to probably take a week off. That will be determined by Thursday. But for right now, we're going to have that show We're not going to have that show next week or this week. We'll have it back on the following week. So thanks again for tuning into the Fanatical Elves Network. We appreciate your time. Go Browns. Have a very good rest of your day. See ya.